Welcome back, Secretary Fudge. It's been 906 days since you last testified before this committee. That was in July of 2021. That was your first and only appearance before the committee during your almost 3 years as Secretary. So welcome back. To be clear, this is not for a lack of trying on committee Republicans' part. Your office routinely avoided responding to numerous requests to appear in last calendar year, but glad you're here at the beginning of this calendar year. This sends the wrong message to the American people that are struggling with high housing prices, lack of availability, to the American taxpayers generally, and to the members of this committee, all of whom recognize the fragility of our housing market. My expectation is that members will use their time effectively today to get the answers our constituents deserve. The issues at hand are too important to be sidelined by political gamesmanship. A lot has changed since you last appeared, Secretary Fudge, and little for the better. Mortgage rates have increased 150% since their all-time low in January of 2021. Rents have risen by more than 15% nationally since 2021, and homelessness increased by 12% over last year. There's been a gross lack of attention to these issues under your watch and little progress, which makes your unwillingness to appear before this committee even more concerning. We have a lot to discuss today, so I'll dive right in. HUD's disparate treatment of disabled veterans seeking housing assistance has exacerbated the veterans' homelessness crisis. Under your leadership, the agency has repeatedly failed to do the right thing by these American heroes. There is a charity headquartered in my district called Purple Heart Homes in Statesville, North Carolina, created to provide housing solutions for qualified service-connected disabled veterans. And I tell this story because it's important for your lack of responsiveness and your team's lack of responsiveness. Purple Heart Homes reached out to my office for help after realizing that HUD red tape was incorrectly disqualifying disabled veterans from accessing housing assistance through the Community Development Block Grant, or CBDG. At issue is HUD's use of not one, not two, but three different definitions of income for these veterans. This means under some definitions they might qualify, and under others they may not. These conflicting rules understandably confuse applicants and grantees alike, leaving some disabled veterans without access to the support they are qualified for. I wrote to you about this in 2022, urging HUD to fix this problem by simply issuing clear guidance to address any confusion. And instead of doing something, it took 3 months for you to respond, saying you would, quote, consider how HUD can better communicate income definitions, end quote. A few weeks later, I wrote again, requesting you reconsider and take swift action to resolve the problem. When you finally responded, you defended the system, saying that your existing rules, quote, do not disenfranchise disabled veterans, end quote. Your lack of attention to such a serious problem facing our nation's veterans is unacceptable. Denying support to disabled veterans in any capacity is abhorrent, and HUD has a legal and moral authority to do better, moral obligation to do better. Unfortunately, your unresponsiveness to congressional inquiries appears to be part of an alarming trend by the Biden administration and Biden administration regulators and agency heads who think that they're above the law and beyond scrutiny. Secretary Fudge, I hope today's hearing serves as a reminder Congress will carry out its oversight duties, and we will get to the answers the American people deserve, and we will hold you accountable for the decisions you make. If there's not attention to this level of detail for veterans, homeless veterans, how do we address the larger issue of housing availability and the cost of housing? These are serious issues.